Hey, Froe here for another Let's Play episode. We're on episode 9 today. To get started with everything we want to do today, I installed a new data pack to our world here that changes villager trades just a little bit. So if I can find him, where'd he go? Hey, let me trade you. All right, there we go. So here are the different trades that are available to this new trader guy. So there's mob heads from the Hermitcraft server, and then you can get these cool decoration blocks like this. And you see I already got a jukebox and I got droppers. I'm going to get mushroom blocks as well. And the other cool thing is that this data pack actually preserves the normal trades as well. So it doesn't really change the villager trader, the wandering trader, but it does add to it, which is cool. And these blocks are actually really awesome. They're a mob head, so they're smaller than normal. You can place some at a diagonal or like an angle, and you can place them straight on, and they just add a little bit more characteristic to builds you do, and they're a good decoration item. First thing I wanted to showcase was this little thing. So we have torches and we have ender pearls here. Now this right side is hooked up, but it's not loaded with any items. But over here this is, and basically the gist of what this does is if I press a button, it's gonna dispense about 30 or so torches and into this little area, and then they will float to the top and I can pick them up. So you notice now I have about 25 torches and I had about 60 before, so it drops about 30 torches. I can press it again just to showcase. We have 25, now we're at 52, so I think that's 27 torches. It's supposed to be an even 32, but I have to check the wiring, or for some reason it's not splitting out perfectly, but I'll fix that off camera. But this is the cool thing that I did. So I want to show you this, and I also want to show you like my little closet over here. So we'll start with the closet. First thing I wanted to show is we have this gold ore here, just like a little decoration item. It's neat to have. It looks cool. It's using the data pack from the same thing we got these red mushroom blocks from. And then a little dark oak tree. Just little decorations like that add a lot to a build. We have an anvil and a grindstone over here, so easy access to those. Eventually I'll put a brewing stand here too, just so that I have those all on hand. And then I'll build dedicated rooms for those eventually too. But here are my different super suits. So here we have our explorer's gear. Then we have guardian gear. Here we have the buttered armor, right? Which I know it's kind of silly. It's just kind of a reference to a meme that existed like 2014 or even earlier, where people were calling gold armor butter armor. I don't know why. I just think it's kind of funny. And then over here we have emergency gear. So this is the explorer's gear, is the new armor I got. Trying to grab it. I don't have a open space though. So it's this is the new gear. I'll show you what it looks like. It's pretty cool actually. So the point of explorer's armor is you want it to be kind of quick and have good utility, but also have a good amount of armor. So starting with the helm, it's got respiration and aqua affinity, which is awesome. Got a little bit of a speed boost and just general good health and attributes like that. The plate body of the explorer is again just kind of more of a protection armor. It doesn't add any speed. The legendary explorer's blue jeans adds some speed, adds a bunch of health. These are actually pretty good pants, perfect for exploring because it adds a lot of health and a little bit of speed. And then we have just boots of the traveler, which have a little bit of speed, and then depth strider is the big one there. And they all have mending. Yeah, they all have mending, so that just makes it a little bit easier to make sure that we can keep it long term. And I named a button and put it in an item frame underneath the armor stand here, and that's why you can see the name of it as you get closer. So that's kind of just a cool little thing too. Now this is actually the coolest thing I've done recently. It took me a long time to get this to work out the way I wanted it, but the gist of it is, let me grab some coal as well. So it's an automatic furnace system, and I'm sure people have designed something like this before, but I'm really proud of myself for doing this all on my own. I didn't look at a single tutorial on how to do this. I kind of just put a lot of thought into it, and this is what I came up with. So come in here, we can put items inside of the chest, and it's automatically going to turn on, and it'll also automatically turn off as soon as the items are done. And it's going to split items. Ooh, why don't you have fuel? You do? No, you're almost out. It's going to split items equally across all 4 of the furnaces here. I did 4 furnaces, so you notice it stopped because now it's out of items. I did 4 furnaces here because one piece of coal will smelt 8 items. And so it's better to have multiples of 4 or 8 in your furnace array so you don't have an unequal distribution of your items. So basically, say this is a stack of items I want to smelt. If you split it into 4 stacks, it's going to always be a multiple of 8, which means you can always use an equal number of fuel, like coal, to smelt them. So it's just a little bit more fuel efficient. It's not really necessary, but just kind of cool. Now, to load this up with fuel, you just lift up this trapdoor and there's a chest back here. And whenever you put items in this chest, it just loads directly into these 2 furnaces, and there's another chest over here. I think it's pretty cool. And then the last thing is furnaces will store EXP. So every time you smelt an item, a little bit of EXP is generated and it's stored inside the furnace. And the only way to get that is by manually getting an item out. Problem is if you notice, there's no items being stored in here. They get put right into this chest down below. So what I did was I created a system where I drop an item right here, it's gonna turn off the hoppers right here so that the items stay inside of the furnace. So you can see they're now inside. The light turns on as well, so you can kind of be aware that, oh, right now it's generating EXP. And all I have to do is just take this, and now you get all the EXP that was stored inside the furnace, and you can drop an item back down there to turn it all off. So now it's gonna drop items again normally. It took me a long time to do, but it's actually really simple redstone. My original design, I wanted to have like a chest here where I can drop items off, and then a chest here that collects them, and a chest over here to drop fuel off, and it's all automatic and awesome. But doing that, I couldn't come up with a reasonable design that worked. This part of the base is getting a little bit too big, like too long. So I'm gonna end it right here, have it go up, follow like a staircase to get up here. So this will be where the staircase is. And then in here we'll have just like a little bit more of a place to put something. But other than that, this part of the base is almost done already. I just have to build the ceiling. But functionality wise, it's done, and I'm going to start building elsewhere in the world. Another thing I got is a chicken. Got a chicken on the island, so trying to get a second one so I can start breeding them. And yeah, that's about it. Oh yeah, one other thing. I did die again between episodes, so I gotta sacrifice another item. It's gonna be one of these items that I'm currently wearing, except for the gold pants. So checking out our projects book, take a look at it. We have Mob Farm, EXP, Monument to Deaths. I think that's gonna be our first project for today. What I want to do for that project, and I know I have a lot of them on there. So this one actually is in particular, I want to make a monument to those deaths that we died building the spider farm. So it's like deaths, I think it's like 3 through 9 or something like that, like quite a lot of them. And what I want to do is I want to use mushroom blocks in conjunction with leaves over here, like oak leaves. And I'm going to make like a little tree, like kind of a cool tree though. And the way this tree is going to work. So obviously these are pretty, like they're a pretty cool color. They're not great, but it's a pretty good barkish color. But the other cool thing is you can easily add texture to this by placing another block there and just destroying it. And now you notice now we have like that inside mushroom texture. And I think that is a really cool looking texture for a tree, like a unique tree, different than what you would normally find in the Minecraft world, which is what I think the monument deserves. So I'm going to do that, and I think I know where I want to build it as well. So I'm going to be building a monument to deaths number 4 through 12, death by poison spiders. So got to place all of these items at this monument. I'm going to build this monument right over here, actually. I think I'm going to have like the tree. So it's going to be a tree, right? And I'm going to build the tree somewhere right here. And I think I'm going to have it kind of like arch off, like kind of arch over to the water a little bit. It's not going to be a giant tree, but and so if you kind of imagine where my cursor is, imagine the tree kind of going at like a angle, so it's not going to go straight up. Maybe like an overhanging tree, because then I could build maybe I could build a path under here then, and it'll be like shaded by the tree a little bit, and that way we'll see it every time we walk by over here too, to get to like our cow farm and other things that I'm going to build over there. Oop. So yeah, let's get to building. All right. Yeah, I think that the shape is coming together. I want to have a path that kind of goes underneath it over here, maybe a little bit lower, kind of like right here. And this might like reach out this direction a little bit more. I think the underside of it looks decent. I like how it's angled and it's kind of like sideways a little bit too. So depending on the angle you look at it, it looks pretty good. And I got a couple little branches over there. I think next step is to add some leaves. You're gonna have to tell me what you think of it so far. I'm getting close to done though. The shape is coming together. I like the little droopies I've been doing. I might need to do a little bit more. But from a distance, it looks pretty good. Like over here, it's got a little bit of shape to it. Like it's a little bit lower here, and then it's a little bit higher up over here. It does kind of just look like a giant clump of leaves, but I think it's coming together. Let's check it out up close too. So like as you get closer, definitely got more shape to it the closer you get. And then this is where the path would be. So this is where we want it to look the best. I kind of wonder maybe we should put some leaves on that level or like smooth that side out a little bit. Cool, I got it done. Take a look at it. So if we take a look, I like how it's not just a giant clump of leaves anymore. It's got a lot more shape to it. I added a little bit of a branch over here and I extended this one a little bit. As we walk closer, I want you to notice that there's some droopy leaves that I added in. I've seen that before and I think that's a cool effect. Added a little bit of a path that brings you right to the base of the tree up here. Where we have our deaths number 4 through 12 immortalized now. So these items are now officially put to rest. Earth Splitter really is the only valuable one in there. These other ones are just kind of like, I like that one's pretty good. 7% speed boost is pretty good too, but Earth Splitter was my first like really good diamond pickaxe that I used. And it was almost used up too, so I guess I got lucky there. But yeah, this is what I got done. Tell me what you think of the tree itself. I think I could have switched the leaves for jungle leaves and it might have looked better, but I'm going to leave it as is for now. Now this other path right here, there's going to be another path. Like this will be like the main path of the base. One of them at least. Oh, hello. What are you doing? Where did you spawn, little guy? Anyways, so there'll be like a main path that kind of goes all throughout the island, and this is where it's going to go eventually here. It's kind of under the tree. I think it has a cool effect. You can see the droopy's really good from here. Yeah. I think we got this project done for now. What should we do next, guys? Let's go check. Let's open up our projects book. So I think we got Monument to Deaths done. I think I can cross that off the list. So when I originally put this on the list, that's exactly what I meant, was building that tree. But I'm going to go ahead and add something else to the list right away, which is going to be our graveyard. We also need to build our graveyard. So we kind of removed something from the list, but I added a little bit more. Taking a look at this, I think the Grazing Fields is next. I think that's something we could work on next. So I'll explain a little bit what I mean by that. And here's the area where I farm my cows. I don't know if you noticed the same problem that I've been noticing. Mainly that's the biggest one, but they're also all kind of around. So the problem is they, like, I try to herd them over here, right? And I breed them up over here. And then this is also where I want to take care of them, if you know what I mean. But they keep like wandering away and like over here into the hills and like far away. I don't know why they keep trying to like run away from me. It's really weird. So what I want to do is build a fence. And so I'm going to do stone, cobble, andesite, and probably just a bunch of other materials as well to try to build like a little stone fence. The idea is, I'll just do a little demonstration. The idea is that you don't want just like a wall. Like that's a wall and that doesn't look very good. Instead, what I want to do is like make it like a kind of like maybe like a little bit of a rubble pile wall. So like something like this type of thing, right? So it's like several blocks high and kind of more random and chaotic, and they still can't, like, I'll have to make it so they still can't get up and inside, but it'll be more of like a detailed wall than just one by one, a 1x3 tall wall or something like that. So the challenge is to make this look good though. And the way I'm going to do that is by mixing in stone, andesite, making stairs and slabs and adding like different heights. Try to add some leaves and vegetation. Before I let you go though, I also wanted to show you, very recently I should say, they added in brown cows that they get converted from normal cows like that, from like normal mooshrooms when they get struck by lightning, I think. And I have a couple of them around here, so that's kind of neat. But yeah, so I need to just make a way so that they're not like all up in my business and around my base. They're all concentrated in one general area. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'm going to use this hill as like the wall from, like, I'm going to start the wall there, and I'm going to have it kind of follow the crest of this hill a little bit. And I might have a little waterfall there lead into this valley. That might be cool. So let's get started with building this wall, or cobblestone fence, or whatever you want to call it. All right, so I think this is going to be the outline, just where the cobblestone is. We have it go along here, and then it kind of stops at the little mountain hill here. And then it continues on over here, all the way to the coast. Kind of just follows this ridge line, so it's up at a hill a little bit, so I think it'll look cool from this side and from the inside. We also have the other side mapped out. It's basically the same thing. It's going to go from that coastline to the hill, and then from the hill to the coastline over there. Next step is we got to get all these cows from up on the mountain back into their pen. Don't mind me, just herding my horde of mooshroom cows back. Oh, stuck. Okay. Yeah, stay inside the fence this time, please. There's nummy wheat over here for you. And you won't be harmed, mostly. It'll be painless, I think. Quick, maybe? Yeah, don't worry about it. Just eat your wheat. Perfect, okay. I also have a couple brown ones, and I can shear these guys to get normal cows too, so I'm probably going to do that. So this is kind of what I mean by like a cobblestone fence or wall. It's too high right now. I'll make it a little bit higher in some parts, and then I kind of just mix in stone and cobble. The next step then after I do that is add in some andesite, and then you come through here and you add like stairs and maybe like some walls and half slabs and just stuff to give it like a little bit of randomness and a little bit of structure. And then I'm going to try to put some spruce fencing in as well, just to see how that looks. Like just fit it in every once in a while, like maybe like a little bit right here and over here. And then the last little bit of detail I'm going to add is leaves. Okay, so I'm going to try to use some jungle leaves maybe too to fill in, just to add a little bit more detail, like right here, maybe a little bit above, something like this. But I'm going to play around with it a lot, and I'll show you what I come up with. The tree looks kind of good from this angle too. So let's see what we got. Got this wall done, and we got that wall done, and we got all of the grass that I had in storage placed on the ground too. If you notice, it only covers about half of it is done. Still got to put grass on the rest of this. Still my like favorite grass color of Minecraft is the mushroom biome one, with jungle being a close second. I think the leaves look really good here. They add a lot of good color and they kind of break it up, as well as the spruce. I think that adds niceness. I have lamps up here for lighting, so it looks decently enough at night. I still have to do that side, and I'm going to do that side off camera because looking at the time of the video, we're running a little bit low. So I wanted to move on to the next part for today. So with mooshrooms, right? We got to be careful. It's mooshrooms, not mushrooms. With mooshrooms, if you right click them with a bowl, you get mushroom stew, which is kind of awesome because that's a easy food source to have. The next thing I wanted to show you is there's kind of like a little bit of bug with Minecraft. So if you notice, I have like, how many hearts do I have? Like 18 right now. if I leave the game, so I'll show you. If I leave the game and go back to rejoin it, I've lost all of my bonus hearts. So now I have to eat to regain them, which takes up a whole steak just to regain hearts that I shouldn't have lost in the first place. So I've been burning through my food a lot doing that because every time I exit the game, I have to, eat to regain my hearts. So I kind of want to create a system where I can just get mooshroom stew automatically at my base over there and a couple other places. And then I can just, like, when I join the game, I just go over there, maybe stand on a pressure plate, get my stew, and then be on my merry way back at full health without using one of my steak, one of my more valuable food sources. The goal is to have several like feed stations throughout my base here, so anywhere I kind of sign in, I can have like easy access to food. I'm gonna have one of them right here, just have like a little dropper. I'll press a button and it'll give me my food, and then I'll just drop the bowl on the ground, and there'll be like a hopper minecart underneath here that just picks it up and gets rid of it for me automatically. But the problem is I don't want to have the mooshrooms close to me here because they make a lot of noise. So I'm going to build a contraption in the side of the mountain right there, kind of where the mooshrooms are right now, because I think that makes sense. And then we'll have a minecart system automatically deliver the mooshroom stew over to here. I think that's a good idea. I'll have the mooshroom loading system right over here. And I think the way I'm going to do it is I'll have a mooshroom trapped here. I can just feed it stew or feed it buckets. And then once my inventory is full, the stew will automatically kind of spill out into the front here, while I'll have a simple storage system and a minecart dispenser system too. Get on inside. Get in there. Come on. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, so we're going to name you Buttercup. So thank you, Buttercup. And let's see how this works. So I'm going to fill up my inventory all the way. And then if I just right click on you, yep, goes right into the hoppers. Perfect. Awesome. And then the last one we can drop into. Cool, cool. That's how it's going to work. So the way I'm going to have this system work is over at my base, I'm going to have a detector detect when I'm out of stock of the stew over there. And when it does, it'll send a minecart over to here. Here we have 9 hoppers set like this. So when this minecart goes underneath them, it's going to pick up 9 items here. And then as it goes back, it's going to pick up another 9 for a total of 18 or so. Doing this works okay because mooshroom stew is not stackable. So really, I don't have to worry about, so like normally if I were to put items in here, I have to wait until this first one fills all the way up with items before the next one. But because they're non-stackable, they're mooshroom stews, it's really only going to be 5 items, so it's not going to take too long. And so really this is just a huge addition to my storage that I have, or the buffer, I guess I could say. So yeah. So I was going to go with this system initially where I can throw an item through the ground. And so I'll show you, and it'll spit the item back out so I don't have to like lose any items. And then over here I'll have the stew. But I kind of thought, what if I want to have multiple stew at once? So let's see how fast it is right now. So if I drop one item in, drop another one, like it's able to keep up pretty well. But if I drop like 3, it's kind of stuck. Uh-oh. Oh, it's really stuck. What is it stuck on? Oh, okay. So now that is a problem a little bit. I could fix it easily. So this repeater is powering the dropper, which then is powering the hopper here. So the dropper hopper. But I'm going to come up with a different system. I'm going to detect when items are in the dropper, not in the hopper. And then I'll just have a clock run that spits out items until all of them are gone. So I can drop in like 20 items and it's just going to run 20 times then, hopefully. So I think this will work actually. So if I put an item in there, right, we have 2 items, but as long as there's an item in there, it doesn't matter the number, this clock is just going to run. Cool. And I can slow it down too if I want. Cool, I think I got it to work the way I want. So we have a bunch of steak in there. Instead of steak, that would be stew normally. And then we'd come over here. Say I drop 1 item in. We're going to get 1 steak back. There's a slight problem where it goes over there. I'll have to fix that in a little bit. But there's our 1 steak. If I drop, say, 5 items, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we should get 5 steak. We should have 6 in our inventory now. Yep, perfect. right? And then those items that we dropped also get deposited. They just take a little bit longer to float up because I don't have soul sand down there yet. But yeah, that's basically the way I wanted this to work so far. All right, I got this filled up, and now we're gonna go test to see if the automatic retrieval system works too. So I got that set up too, and a rail line connecting here all the way to the base. Did that too. And we're back at the automatic retrieval system. So the way this is going to work is we have two comparators here. This first one is detecting if there's items flowing from the minecart into the system. If it is, then this is going to turn on, which is going to turn this torch off, which means that the minecart is just going to stay where it is. The second comparator is determining how many items are in the system. So right now there's one item in the system. If I were to take that out, then this line of redstone will turn off, which will allow this torch to turn on, which sends the cart to go pick up more. So this chest here tells me, this comparator and this chest tell me how many items I need to get or when to get items. And this one right here tells the minecart to stop as it's dropping off. So it's a kind of a smart system like that. So if I were to take this mushroom stew out, then the minecart will go on its own automatically all the way and pick up items. And then it'll come over here and drop them off automatically too. And I'll show you that once it's back. I had to add this little detector rail so that this torch turns off no matter what when the cart runs over here, because I was having just a little bit too much delay for this other setup. The minecart was going off and then bouncing back before the power rail turned off. So let's see here. We have this minecart is now filled with items. We're going to send it on. Nope, not that way. Come on. Go this way. There we go. And now it stays there and it's stationary and it's just going to drop items off. And it's just going to stay there now permanently until these run out. So that's how the system works. And let's put it to test now. I haven't done this yet officially, so let's see if it works. Let's start with just one. Yep, there's my one stew. Where'd it go? Oh, it's sunk to the bottom. That's kind of weird. Still got to work on this water channel. It's not perfect. Let's try it again. So this time we'll drop another stone brick. Perfect. I got my stew that time. And then the stone brick comes up a little bit slower. Again, I need to get soul sand in the bottom there to make that a little bit better. Cool. Let's try 3 of them now. And there they all are. Perfect. Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. That's working exactly the way I wanted it. So that brings us to the end of the episode. Yeah, unfortunately, it's that time, guys, but we got quite a lot done for today. Let's just recap a little bit. We got that tree built off in the distance, and we also got quite far on the cow farm. I still have to release them and then build the other half of the wall, but I think I'll do that off camera. And we got that awesome like feed station set up, and I'm going to build more of those throughout the world too, which is going to require quite a lot of tinkering, because then right now it's easy because it's just one single line. As soon as I have multiple of them, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. So we'll see how that goes. But before we end the episode, we just have to make one last little thing. We got to sacrifice our items that we were carrying when I died in between last episode and this episode. So let's go ahead and drop them on in. I think it was just all of these items. We'll let that shuffle for just a little bit. Perfect. So let it shuffle for a little bit. Let's go ahead and press the button and see what we get. What are you doing? Did you steal my item? Oh my god, there's a drowned in here. Oh, silken gem. Man, that's the tool that we have to sacrifice then. Cool. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead and give me feedback on anything, any feedback you have on what I did for today's episode and for future ones. Thanks again for watching. Bye.